This is the hockey rink, a big sheet of ice that is typically 200 feet long by 85 feet wide. While this can vary depending on the facility, that's the general size. The rink is basically a big rectangle with rounded corners, surrounded by boards and glass to keep the puck in play. Once you understand the lines and zones that cover the rink, the game starts to make a lot more sense. Right in the middle is the red center line with the center face-off circle. Every game starts here, and play restarts here after every goal. The center line also matters for certain rules, like icing, which we'll cover in a later video. These two blue lines split the rink into 3 zones. The space between the 2 blue lines is the neutral zone, and on either side are the offensive and defensive zones. For our player who's on the rink right now, he's currently in his team's defensive zone. He and his teammates want to keep the puck out of the goal that's in their defensive zone. Once our player crosses the neutral zone, which is the space between the 2 blue lines, he enters his team's offensive zone. When a team is attacking their opponent's net, they are in the offensive zone. For a player on the opposing team, of course, the offensive and defensive zones would be reversed. The blue area that's in front of the net is called the goalie crease. This is the goalie's space. Players can't interfere with the goalie here, and a lot of penalties and reviews happen because of what goes on in this blue paint. Behind each net is the red goal line. A goal only counts when the puck completely crosses this line and enters the net. Let's talk about these circles and dots that are all over the rink. These mark where face-offs take place, where play restarts after a whistle. Where the face-off happens depends on why play stopped. Offsides, icing, penalties, or a goal. When a face-off occurs, one player from either team will stand on either side of the dot. The referee will then drop the puck between them, and each player will try to hit the puck back to a teammate. You'll also notice different markings around some of the dots. The circles define a 15-foot radius from the dot that players must stay outside of during a face-off, except for the 2 players who are in the face-off, of course. The pairs of lines that extend from the circles are called hash marks. These define where players must stand during a face-off. Players have to remain on their team's side of the hash marks nearest their own goal until the puck hits the ice. Finally, you'll notice the L-shaped markings inside the circle. These define where the players taking the face-off must place their skates and sticks. Each of these lines and markings has a specific purpose. They control where players can go, when play stops, and how the game flows. Once you know what they mean, you'll start predicting calls before the whistle even blows.